If you have been raising chickens, or even if you're thinking about raising chickens, the one thing that you'll learn very quickly is that with any flock of chickens, it tends to bring a lot of bugs as well as maybe some smaller rodents. And this really comes for two reasons. One, there's a lot of droppings that the chickens bring, which start to bring a lot of flies and bugs into them. And they also will have their food, and any of that kind of droppings and that scent is also going to bring some rodents like mice, rats, sometimes snakes for their eggs, and anything of the likes. One way to help offset all of these additional creatures being added into your backyard is by adding in some guinea fowl. And we actually got guinea fowl a couple of months ago, and they have been doing amazing things for our flock. So we're going to go over the top 5 reasons I think you should be adding guinea fowl to your backyard flock. And the first one is that they really do eradicate pests. Now, guinea fowl are primarily known for their capabilities in eating ticks. Yes, they're going to eat thousands and thousands of ticks for you, and this is really amazing, especially dependent on where you live. Ticks can be very harmful to both animals as well as humans, especially if you have some of those deer ticks, which can cause Lyme disease, and we really don't want any of that here. We have 2 dogs that are always running around the yard, and when we started getting a lot of ticks on them, guinea fowl were the first animal that really came to mind on a way to help decrease that number outside of spraying some toxic items onto the lawn and the yard in order to get rid of them. But guinea fowl don't stop there. They love all sorts of bugs and goodies. They actually are guinea fowl actually originated because they were in Africa. They're from Africa, and they usually would follow hordes of larger animals and end up digging in their manure for any types of bugs. So they end up doing that here in our yard as well, and it's really helped cut down on the fly population, the tick population, as well as they do eat smaller rodents, thinking mice, rats, snakes, etc. So that's really going to be helpful in eradicating all of them. I'm Danielle of the Split Arrow Farm, and welcome to our channel where we bring you new content every week on how to start your own homestead or live a more self-sustainable lifestyle. And today we're chatting all about guinea fowl. And let's get to the second reason why we have really benefited from adding guinea fowl to our flock. And that is because they are known to be very protective. Guinea fowls will have a noise that they do, and I will put some on right now. You can see that it is a loud noise. It's even louder in person. And they usually will do this when they see any type of predator coming for them. Although when you live in a backyard homestead, it oftentimes can mean when they see your dogs, any larger animals, any unknown humans. Now that they actually know us and our dogs, they have slowed down on making this sound. But if there is someone like a mailman or a UPS driver or anything like that, or new visitors, they will sound their alarms. And one way this has actually directly affected us is just a couple weeks ago, we had a hawk swooping down trying to eat some of our flock. And the guinea fowl actually sounded their alarms. It got the dogs going, and we all kind of looked outside. The guinea fowl were making a large amount of noise. It definitely scared away the hawk. We then set our dogs out to help clean up the area, kind of roam around and see it. All the chickens had already started going into the coop for safety, and in the end, nobody was harmed from that hawk. So I'd say it's a pretty winning situation. Although if you do have neighbors that are close by, some of the sounds that the guinea fowl can make might not be the best, and I would definitely consult with your town if you're even allowed to have them, or if there's any laws around them. You could actually see a bunch of them right now, and they're just roaming the lawn. We do let them free range with all of our chickens, and they love to eat the little goodies that are on the ground. one thing that's really distinctive about them outside of chickens is they're not really as harmful for the ground. So they'll choose to just pick up the bugs or the weeds. Yes, they love weeds, and that is actually my next positive here. And it'll eat them up, but without scratching and destroying the ground below, which is really great because it's going to make sure that it doesn't harm any of your ground. Because they love weeds, they're also a great animal to let into your garden. Oh, there's our noises of them. We'll give them some time. They're also really great to let into your garden because they're known to really eat weeds and not as much of the plants that you're growing. So they can go in there, kind of eat any weeds up, as well as eat any of those bugs that might be in your garden. So this way you don't have to spray as much for those bugs, and instead you can just have them eating up some of those bugs that are eating your garden. Now, we haven't actually tried this at our homestead, but mostly because we're just afraid. But we are going to be testing this out this fall once a lot of our crops start to clear out before winter, and we want to send our guineas in, see what they do, and really just make sure that they aren't causing any damage. And if our flock is known to be really good around that, like everyone says, then I want to start letting them in more often throughout the year, because we've definitely had a large amount of bug problems in our garden this year, and trying to grow an organic garden is not the easiest when you have little buggies trying to eat everything. So really excited to test that out here. If you have chickens, then you most likely like eggs. And one other positive that guineas are going to bring to your homestead is that they actually do produce a large amount of eggs, thinking anywhere from 80 to 150 eggs per year per guinea fowl. Now, chickens, obviously, some breeds are going to do a lot more than that, more around 300 to 350 eggs per year, and it really is going to depend on the season and geographical location that you're in. Obviously, these birds are going to want to be laying in warmer temperatures, and guinea fowl are known to lay primarily in spring and fall. What's really cool about guinea fowl is they do love to roam, as you see, and they will oftentimes create their own nest. One of the female hens will actually protect that nest, and all of the guinea fowl will lay all of their eggs in there. They'll have the one hen lay them all out, and they'll actually raise their own young. They're going to mate for life, which is super cool. So you're gonna find that there's pairs raising their own young, and let me tell you, I am so excited to watch them raise their own young. I really hope that we can start watching them do this soon, although if they don't, I've also heard that their eggs are quite delicious. They're really strong in flavor, and they're a hearty, delicious meal for you to try. So definitely excited to try those out, and we'll share exactly what that experience looks like. But something really cool about guinea fowl that before we even got them, I didn't even know about, but I think is a really great benefit, especially if you have chickens and you already are enjoying amazing eggs. The last reason that you should get guinea fowl and add them to your flock is because they're actually going to train each other. Now, guinea fowl are really hard to actually train to stay in a coop. They're really hard to domesticate, and for years, hundreds and thousands of years, we've been trying to domesticate them with little luck. Although we did find a really good hack, and that is that we actually had chickens that were trained to free range and go into the coop at night, and this actually helped train our guinea fowl to do the same. We've had our chickens for around a year before we started to add our guinea fowl into the flock, and all of these chickens have been really good. They're really good tempered chickens. None of them are angry. We have no roosters, we just have hens. And so these guinea fowl, we let them grow a little bit in a sectioned off section within our coop. And then after around 10 weeks, we let them all live together in the coop for around 2 to 3 weeks without going outside for free ranging. And then we started to slowly let them out, and we've had really great success. We haven't had any of our guinea fowl escape, and they've all become really close friends. Guinea fowl can be known to be a little aggressive, so I think having the chickens be older than them really helps them kind of understand the pecking order. We haven't seen too many issues here. Sometimes the guineas will peck at each other, but I've heard this is really common and not something to really worry about. But we've had so much success. We love all of our guineas as well as our chickens. You can see that they're all hanging out right down there right now, and they're so awesome. I'm really excited to continue raising guinea fowl. I hope you all are too, and that you decide to add them to your flock. But if you're interested in some more guinea fowl content, check out some of these videos next, and we'll see you guys again next time. Bye!